Ready, steady, go. Today, our bargain called the rims. The popularity of the motorcycles is unlikely to ever fade away. They are fond of athletes, fighters, models, military, priests, politicians, businessmen. Therefore, video game developers regularly try to roll in with a new product for example entertainment fans. So the publishing house Namco will release the first motorsport simulator combining realistic driving technology and mechanics, the rims. Rims racing. First simulator? Well, of course, after the Drive Club bikes, of course, and the half of dozen more of games, of course, like the MotoGP 21 on Ride. But nonetheless, the developers promise a complete motorcycle with access to all motorcycle parts, about 500 parts, a huge wardrobe to personalize the appearance of their riders, as well as 8 bikes and 10 tracks for races, but not only ordinary racing track. At least 5 of them will be real highways from the United States, Norway, Australia, Spain and Italy. In addition to assembling motorcycles, meticulous tuning and riding them, players will have to assemble a team to participate in the competitions, look for sponsors, plan a career and improve the team's skill. Rims Racing is a realistic motorcycle simulation with a complex simulation of bike behavior. It's enough to brake, accelerate and fit into the corners. In order to achieve the goal, riders need to monitor torque, translation, calculate trajectory and braking, and also responsibility choose parts from the race. Moreover, the game physics requires players to know driving techniques, without which the race will be immediately end with an action. The complex behavior of the motorcycle makes the process of visiting the garage mandatory, because only there you can disassemble the bike to the last screw and upgrade a certain part. You can choose from 8 powerful motorcycles and more than 500 parts for fine-tuning technology. The developers brag about not only the realistic ride of their bikes, but also the unproduced detailing of each item. You can accelerate to maximum speed in a competitive races, but it will be much more difficult to achieve success here, and the condition for victory is determined by the technician savvy of the players and his ability to monitor the temperature and condition of the tires. The game features 10 detailed recreated tracks: Silverstone, Laguna Seca, Suzuka, Nürburgring, Paul Ricard, and one each of them the condition of the races are different. That's decent, but it looks like the developers need to balance that they've been working on. There are too many parts and gadgets, especially when you think that there are only 8 motorcycles in the game. The career mode is pretty detailed, giving you a fair amount of things to do, and track racing is great thanks to the AI that keeps you on your toes during the best of times. Track antics, I have to give RaceWatch Studio credits for the physics being correct. This is certainly more in the field of modeling. Even with your assist, you need to exercise a little common sense when racing on the track. There is a real sense of speed, which is not in every game. They've got it right. So the real question: racing. If you like the racing games, especially two-wheeled games, then yes. For the first time, I can't help but think that this is the right way. Of course, there is a lot of praise, even if there are aspects that deserve criticism. Whenever one might say, this is a racing simulator on a market where there are too few racing simulators, and yet it is not bad at all. Rims Racing is a worthy first attempt of the racing simulator genre from RaceWatch Studios. With a good races, a detailed career mode and attention to the details, bikers are higher than any other game in history. It is rare to find a game on the track that makes you feel as good as this bike. However, with this kind of attention to the detail, there is an inherent need for feature accessibility that the game lacks with the terrible training, and the need to balance and reduce the indulgence. The biggest culprit for the indulgence is bike customization, which, while important for anyone wanting to know what about bike details, act as a barrier to fun and play. This is what I recommend to fans of motorcycles and racing simulators. Just enter it, warning that there are things that might get in your way. Thank you so much for the watching. Don't forget to hit those bells and that subscribe button. Also, please hit the thumb up. Peace.